Sometimes it can be hard keeping up to date with everything going on in the gaming industry. The Sometimes Geek Podcast is a quick and easy listen each week that covers all the major gaming news while giving the opinion of an everyday gamer. You can find it at sometimesgeek.com or on iTunes, Google Play, and wherever you normally grab your podcasts.
Yeah, man, it's time to dive into another great beverage. It's Dudes with Brews on a porch. Gonna check in with my friend Drew for this week's episode. Who's he gonna talk to? What are they gonna talk about? And what are they gonna drink? What are you waiting for? Get your ass off the lawn and come on to the porch. It's Dudes with Brews.
Yeah, I was about to start it with, it's 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Do you know where your children are? Because,
I hope my mom doesn't.
Your mom doesn't know where any of her children are. Maybe Trevor.
Maybe Trev.
The rest of her kids, their destinations, their whereabouts are currently unknown.
She'll know eventually that I was drinking beer at 7 in the morning.
Well, it's so... Are we like alcoholics? We're not alcoholics. We're
not alone right now.
Oh, is that what it means?
I think so.
Yeah, I just got done working some overtime, midnight to 6, and
we're third shifters. That's right. So this works.
Yeah.
We can use that.
This is highly suitable for people to crack open a beer.
We can be piss wasted at noon.
I hope so. No, just kidding. No, not at all. But and we're doing it the right way too. You know, we're not like cracking like a Budweiser. We're gonna drink
never a Budweiser.
A Potosi brewed in Wisconsin. Back to the Wisconsin brews. So 2 weeks off away from Wisconsin. You can only go so long without going back to the roots. But this is actually a brewery I wanted to get to for a while now because they are a complete non-profit brewery in Wisconsin. So in Potosi, Wisconsin, we're going to be drinking the Shot Tower, which is an espresso stout. So it's like our morning coffee, more or less. Yep. Just a little bit of an extra kick. We'll call it an iced coffee. But yeah, I actually met a Potosi rep earlier this summer.
Really?
And I learned about their story, and I thought it was pretty interesting. So Potosi is pretty, I think it's like south.
I was going to say, do you know where it is?
I think it's southeast of us.
Okay.
So I'd like to go there and sometime, but it seems pretty cool. So they were founded in 1852. They became the 5th largest brewery in Wisconsin, and they distributed coast to coast. The brewery survived Prohibition, but closed in 1972 following a $7.5 million restoration. The Potosi Brewery Foundation, a nonprofit organization and sole owner of the brewery. So an organization owns the brewery.
Yeah, those are some numbers. I was expecting it to be like a small outfit that grew into something. But.
Yeah, they reopened in 2008. The facility is home to the National Brewery Museum, a brew pub, restaurant, beer garden, gift shop, and the Great River Road Interpretive Center.
So they've got one of those in like every town in Wisconsin, though, right?
What? An interpretive center?
Some form of beer museum. No, those are just bars, I guess.
Oh yeah, just bars on every corner, more or less. Yeah, but their mission is to channel all their profits into markets served to support historical and educational based initiatives and charitable causes. So all the money goes to charity. So we kind of did like a tax deductible thing right now by donating to buying this the Shot Tower.
Yeah.
So it's and then this is an espresso stout. So I know I try to stick to the Robert Phillips back on the program, by the way.
Yeah. Hi.
We spoke to him previously. Let's give this a shot. Okay.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, not really what I was expecting, actually. It's good. I like it. It's let's get some info on the beer itself. I clicked on the wrong app.
Actually, do it taste like the aftertaste of espresso even?
It does, yeah. It has actual coffee beans and everything in it. So it is, like we said, from Potosi. It's a stout, 6.5 ABVs, 28 on the IBUs, so not really that bitter. With a cold pressed, God damn it, proprietary.
There it is.
Proprietary blend of fresh ground beans, from their friends at Verena Street Coffee Company. So Verena Street providing the beans. So thank you, Verena. Me personally, I like Collectivo, but I like the Verena as well. It's so far I've only had it in this beer, and it's pretty good. They've crafted a wholly original espresso stout that is both rich in coffee tones, and it is drinkable. Its pleasant espresso aroma leads to rich coffee flavors mixed with notes of roasted malt and a hint of chocolate, all topped with a generous mocha head.
You can't beat a description like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually on the Untapped app, which you can follow me at and be my friend. It's got a pretty good rating. It's about a 3.87 out of 5.
I said this last time, I'll say it again. All the numbers sound good.
All the numbers sound good. I like it. And this is pretty good, too. I like it. It'll be a nice way to jumpstart the morning here.
Yeah.
So you just woke up a little bit before I really awoke you.
Yeah. 3 o'clock is a hard window to get through for me, so I always fall asleep.
Yeah, I would imagine. I have a really hard time on the weekends, especially. So I've been on third shift a little over a month now, actually. So I've had some weekends, and I've had to work the last 3 weekends, so it kind of doesn't really feel like you get much of a break, but it's fine.
You have kids though, right? Like, how does that work? How old are your kids now?
Madison's 9, Ashton's 4. So that's the one thing is with Madison, because I only have her half the time, it's hard for me to get some sleep on certain days of the week.
Yeah, yep.
So I'm really I prefer the schedule during the week where I get done at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I don't go to bed till about 3:45.
Okay, yeah.
And then I get up around 9:30. Sometimes I get up at 10. It all depends on how I'm feeling that day. And then, I get to work between 10:15, 10:30. And the shift doesn't actually start till 11 o'clock, but I like to be ahead of the game because I'm a supervisor and boss. I like to know what's going on.
They like that there.
Yeah, they do. They do.
We both work at Merck too here, so.
Yeah, they don't know what that is. But
oh, okay. Well, you can edit that out. That way, actually, you probably should. So if we say anything bad,
I will.
Just edit out the name, and now they'll have to worry. They'll have to wonder.
Yeah, we work at the same place, but it's not a bad place to work by any means. But yeah, so
I don't mind it.
So when I have Madison, my dad usually stays a little bit to watch Ashton. But I really have a hard time falling asleep at 8 o'clock in the morning because I'm kind of more accustomed to this other schedule that I've been on. So sometimes I just don't really get a lot of sleep at all during the week. And when I'll pick Madison up from school, go home, she doesn't really do too much homework or anything like that, but we get dinner out of the way. If she has got to take a shower, she takes a shower.
Yep.
And then usually around between 6:30 and 7, I try to sneak a few Z's in. And I just lay across the couch. We turn on like a movie or a show, and then I kind of doze off. And if she needs anything, she'll wake me up. My wife is there too, so it's not like I'm neglecting my children by any means. So Sierra's there too to help with the kids. But I try to stay awake because my time is pretty limited with Madison. Not limited in the sense where there's not really. I do spend a lot of time with her, but I don't get to see her every day like I get to see Ashton every day. So I spend the whole day with Ashton. So when I get home at 7 o'clock, I hang out with him until Sierra gets home at around 3:30.
Yep.
So that's nice. We play games. He's really been leaning towards the Nintendo these days. So I have the SNES Classic.
Nice.
And he really likes Mario. So I give him the second controller, and then I just play. And he thinks he's playing with me.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah, that's a good trick there.
It is a good trick. But sometimes he'll ask, and he's like, can I do it by myself? So I think he's catching on. And I go, yeah.
There's going to be a day where you let him play, and he's going to be like, I was so good.
Yeah.
When I was little.
What happened?
Now I can't even jump over this mushroom.
That's what happened to me when I bought this SNES Classic. I pop it on, I throw on Mario.
They're harder games than people think.
I'm dying all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know for a fact I've beaten this game before. And I was like, I
went back
fucking
to
dying, and I get pissed off. It's different like nowadays because on the PS4, if you die or whatever,
they load
die
so much, and like these are level, like the level is to load. So
yeah,
I think there's one checkpoint at a certain point when you get up to like the
halfway
Super
point
Mario
or something.
Yeah. But I'm not a big fan of the new Mario games. I've just played the one on the Wii.
Odyssey, or no?
I don't even know.
Odyssey's on whatever Nintendo, the Switch.
It's the Wii one. It's like if you want to get everything like the coins and stuff. There's these big coins you gotta get. You need a second player because you have to die to get the coin.
Oh, really?
And then if you have a second player, you come back in like a bubble. But if it's, and for me, I don't know. I just I went back to the to the regular Nintendo for a while last year, just because we have one, and I always like to get it out and play the games that I grew up playing or whatever. And I sucked back then, but I really suck now. It's
Donkey Kong too.
Buttons, it's like
Donkey Kong's really hard.
Yeah, that's actually I have a Super Nintendo in there, and I was playing the Donkey Kong on the Super, and that one is like
it's hard.
One where it's like Jesus, what?
And those are the main reason I bought the SNES Classic is for the Mario game, because I think it's Super Mario World. It's the one you get to ride Yoshi and shit like that.
Yep.
And then also Donkey Kong Country, which I love Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Donkey Kong is a good game.
I think Yoshi's Island is a kind of a lame game. I've
never played Yoshi's Island.
So you're baby Mario in the
that
game.
Sounds familiar.
And like you're like, it's different. It's a different style.
I don't think any of the characters really made it on their own. Like it's kind of because there's Luigi's Mansion, Yoshi's Island apparently, and I'm sure that there's for these other characters too. And it's like they're a great band under Mario, but they can't go off and do that.
Yeah. There's the original Mario Kart's on the Classic too, which is a lot of fun to play, and there's other ones too. So I tried playing Mega Man. I can't get past the first level. I have not beaten the first level.
Mega Man was
hard.
Yeah, Mega Man is like I feel like, and I didn't play it that much back then. Like I got into it.
I didn't either.
But I feel like that's a harder game. But like because if you look at like the list of top 10 hardest games, I mean I know Tyson's Punch Out from regular Nintendo's on there at a pretty high number.
Yeah,
a low number in terms of I think it's in the top 5. These are those are games that still you think we've got all new buttons and everything comes faster and more pixels, whatever is going. I don't know much about that stuff, but I just know that when you have a good game, I mean that's timeless, and it's it's never going to be easy to beat, and it's always going to be something that is a challenge. That's the whole point.
Too, like with those games, you need to have some sort of difficulty to them because older kids played it too.
Yeah,
and they're all platform games. They're in a sense you get the goal is to get from one side to the other.
Yep.
And you got to make it somewhat challenging or give it somewhat of a a difficulty for the gamers that are older. So could you imagine like us being our age now, but then when the Super Nintendo first came out, like we love Mario and everything now, but maybe it was boring for some people because they thought it was too easy. So that's why you need Mega Man and things like that.
I think before like really those games, like I mean you had the ColecoVision and the Atari and stuff before that and the regular Nintendo, but like I remember I just saw a video, a home movie of ours, and it was my grandma. She was playing the regular Nintendo.
Oh, really?
And she looked like she was enjoying it. She died a bunch of times, but like I think it was like different back then. Like now the video games surround us and they're everywhere. Back then it was like something that our whole family like got to, we got this new thing or and like I'm making that happen on the screen, and now it's like you can't even tell if what's happening on the screen is a TV show or a video game, and it's like we're just used to it.
I had so my parents were divorced, but before my parents did get divorced, the reason I ever had a Nintendo was because I had asked for a Game Boy for Christmas. I got a Game Boy and I got Mario with it. And my mom liked it so much that she made my dad go to Toys R Us when that still existed.
Yeah, right.
And he made him buy a Super Nintendo for her. And then, then of course, as anything with parents with anything fun, the kids are going to naturally just steal it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And then they split or whatever. And then my dad had the Sega at his place.
Okay.
So, at my dad's, we'd always be playing Sonic. And we had a bunch of like Mickey Mouse games that are actually really fun. I think World of Illusions. It was actually really fun with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck.
It's crazy the game difference between Sega, people that used to play Sega, and the people that used to play Nintendo, because the crossover is non-existent. And it's like I never played Sega. I only knew one person with a Sega. We didn't go there much, and
Okay.
I just remember it was my Uncle Stoney who had one, and we would go over there, and he had this game that had this gun that was like, there were no guns for the Nintendo games.
Nintendo did.
Well, they had
the duck one.
The duck gun.
Yeah.
That's a hand. This thing was like
Oh, sure.
a machine gun, like. And I don't think he ever got to work, to tell you the truth, but it was always like it was always exciting to try and play, I guess.
Yeah, it was funny, but yeah, my parents and sister, we'd all play a game together on Sega, and it's funny when you try to you're stuck in a spot and you can't move and you always tilt the controller.
Yeah.
Like you think it's gonna help, but it never does. But now
that's where the Wii came from.
And now it does, yeah. Probably. I feel like Nintendo, unfortunately, has kind of died off. They're kind of gaining back momentum with the release and the classic stuff. I'm sure they're going to do an N64 version, in which I still have an N64.
Me too, yeah. We got like 4 of them.
I tried playing GoldenEye not too long ago. Again, I couldn't get past the first level because
I would love to go back and play GoldenEye now because I still hate first-person shooter games. Mm-hmm. I'm just not good at them. Like I
don't mind them.
I've gotten better now because when you have to play people online, like they're like now I can go like it used to be like 2 seconds and I die. Now I'm up to like 5 or 6. But so I and that was the game GoldenEye that made me quit playing video games for like 10 years.
Oh really?
Because 4-player GoldenEye. I used to lose so much. I would just pounce on whoever was in the room, killing me. I was a bad loser.
Well, you were in an unfortunate situation because Trevor is a fucking mad gamer. Like
my younger brother used to just. He still does. But now I know I can go to him and be like, "Hey, I'm having trouble with this. You want to let
Help
me know?
me.
What do I do?"
Yeah.
As opposed to back then going, fuck you, or whatever.
Punching them in the leg and stuff like that. I was always and I was talking about this to. There's another podcast that I kind of talk to a lot and listen to a show. It's called the Sometimes Geek Podcast. Give it a listen. It's really good. It's a shorter podcast. Gives you updates on news and he's really cool. His name's Derek. He's a good guy. But I was telling him. That's really my extent of the online stuff is just putting on a headset and letting somebody else play, and I just talk mad shit.
Yeah, okay.
All the
Trevor
time.
did that the other day, actually. Trevor, because I was getting a lot of shit for being a bad player.
Oh, really?
And I didn't want to. I was like, I'm not going to address this or whatever. And Trevor was like, give me it. I'm going to take care of this.
I was just like, I would always change my voice and do impressions of like Family Guy characters and stuff like that, and. Sometimes people would like sit there and laugh, and some people just would get like really pissed off.
There's like serious gamers out there that
funny.
Yeah, it is funny because although I can say now because I've gotten into groups. Like I was playing Battlefield 1 the other day, and I actually got into a squad or whatever that everybody was on mics and everybody was on point. And we dominated, and it was like really fun.
That's good, yeah. And it's fun when that works out. But
you can't expect that though. That's one time in the last. I've been gaming like an actual gamer, and I'm putting that in quotes because I think that's a weird term, and I'm not serious about it. But that was the only time that's ever worked out.
Yeah, I would just go, and it was always Call of Duty. So I've never really been much of a Call of Duty person.
Me neither. Yeah.
I honestly like. I just like a good story in a video game or something fun. I like the ability to play alone. I don't really, sometimes I'll hop on online and join something that my friend is doing, or if it's like Madden, I'll play with somebody else that I know. But I don't really like the online aspect of things.
You're really not working towards anything when you're playing online, in my opinion.
No,
you're just getting your gamer score up, which is a number that doesn't matter.
Which is meaningless in a sense.
But your Xbox or whatever, I don't know how PlayStation is, I play on Xbox, it tells me, hey, you're beating your friends, or hey, your friends are beating you, you better play more. And I was listening to that Harmontown podcast, and they were talking about the achievements.
Yeah, there's achievements in PlayStation.
Maybe
as well.
It was actually
trophies are called.
Yeah, it wasn't even Harmontown. It was with Kumail Nanjiani, his game, the one that he does about games. The Indoor Kids.
Okay.
And they were talking about how the achievements are like your girlfriend or whatever. Like, so when you used to do something really great, and the person next to you be like, "Oh, did you see I did that?" And like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Now your Xbox is like, "Oh, we saw that. We did that. We saw that you did that, and here's an achievement for it. You're good." And it's like positive reinforcement to keep on going.
Yeah. That's a good method for some people.
And I got sucked into it. I try and get the achievements, not because I care that the Xbox likes
I don't even know I got an achievement until it pops up. I was like, I didn't even know I was working to obtain this goal. But
after I got enough of them, I started to go, what are these things? And
I fall down.
And like, really, actually, what happened is I beat a game. I beat Life is Strange, and which is a great game. It's just a one-player game. It's not online, and. But my achievements, I got one achievement. I was only 1% done with the game, even though I beat it. And I was like, why is that happening? And I went back, and it's like, because there's all these optional things that I didn't do, like.
Well, there's so many. You'd be crazy to probably beat any game 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I've tried. So I tried with Batman Arkham Knight, which all the Arkham games are fucking really fun.
I just I'm at the end of Arkham City right now, or the Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum, that's the first one. So that's a really good one.
I'm on Joker right now.
It's a lot of fun. So they have the Riddler.
I've got almost 100% of them.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
And in Arkham Knight has a ton, like maybe 250 or something like that.
I bought Arkham Knight first.
Oh, you did?
Not knowing that it was
a series?
And then somebody told me, so I'm like 7% through that game or something.
Okay.
But I went back and bought the first two because I want to play them all.
Well, there's Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins or something like that, and then Arkham Knight.
There's I didn't even hear about the Arkham Origins.
It might just be called Batman Origins. I think it's Arkham Origins, something like that. But they're all. I've played them all. I've beat them all, and they're all a lot of fun. But yeah, like so in Arkham Knight, if you want the official ending of Arkham Knight, you need to 100% beat every single side mission, every single side story, and you have to get all those goddamn Riddler trophies.
And see the thing with the Arkham Knight, that's more like an open world sandbox game or whatever, where it's like you can pick it's like it's almost like Call of Duty. Sorry. You can get me on that. I mean,
no, you're fine.
This is the third time I've substituted the wrong word in. I just woke up. Sorry. But it's like Grand Theft Auto, sort of. Like where you drive to a place and then the challenge is there.
Yeah.
Whereas I do like the first two, or at least the first game, I like that it kind of points you where you need to go for the main story. And if you want to jump off and go do some other stuff, you can. But it's like, because otherwise I just like going circles, It's like I don't.
Yeah, I liked the side missions in Arkham Knight. They are fun to do, but so I didn't. I never really saw the official ending, and I didn't really know about it until I beat the story and I beat every single other thing except for the Riddler trophies, and I was like, I am not spending endless hours trying to solve these fucking puzzles.
That's my favorite part of the game right now.
Oh, is it?
Like once I think I've got like 2 left.
Oh, really?
In the first game,
crap.
and like
that's crazy.
And I'm seriously like, once those 2 are done, it's like I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, because I love trying to find that. Some of them are too easy, and then some of them are actually kind of difficult, and I do like to. And for the first half of the game, I didn't realize that you could just like go like to. I thought the Riddler trophies were the same as like. That was you solving the riddle, because some of them were in the spot that you would have to be to solve the riddle. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to find these trophies that'll solve the riddle. And then when I figured out there were 2 different things, because like I said, I'm an idiot and I'm not good at gaming. Like, and like the menu is kind of weird where it like ticks them off, but it doesn't tell it doesn't really tell you. And it just tells you how many you have. Mm-hmm. And then if you know how to read the menu, which I didn't at first because I just bought the game and started, you can find out that you're in the room that some riddle is in or whatever. But
I just YouTubed the ending.
And I thought about doing that. I thought about YouTubing a lot of different things, like how to do this or whatever. Mm-hmm. But there's not too many games that I've had to do that with. But
I wasn't going to spend the time, and I wanted to know what happened.
I don't have kids either. So.
Yeah, I wanted to know what happened at the end, and so I just YouTubed it, and it's a cool ending. So.
Star Fox, which is one of my all-time favorite games.
The SNES Classic has the unreleased sequel to Star Fox on it. Yeah,
which is Star Fox came out in Atari, I think.
Really?
Like, yeah, there's a bunch.
I thought Atari just had Pong.
No, there's a ton of games that were out on Atari that are just like weird versions of the games that they became on Nintendo.
Sure.
And I forget what some of the other ones were or are.
E.T.
But, I didn't know that E.T. was a game on
Atari. It's like considered the worst video game to have ever been created.
I'll have to look into that.
There's like a documentary on it. They just dug. I'm pretty sure this is accurate. They dug just a giant pit and dumped all the remaining copies of the Atari E.T. game into it.
Really?
And I think there's like a documentary, I'm going to look it up, but I think there's a documentary where people are like looking for it. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's, I mean, nowadays, like, that's probably worth a ton of money.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I bought one of those throwback Ataris that you don't actually have the cartridges. It just has like 500 games on it.
Yeah, it's like the SNES Classic. And it's all
so it's like and it doesn't have Pong, which really pissed me off. But like I went through those games and there's like a Star Fox and there's I can't even think of some of the other ones, but they went on to become really good games in.
Oh really?
In on later systems.
Yeah,
you just don't know. Like I didn't know that they existed before that.
I didn't either.
And
like I said, I just thought Pong pretty much was the
Centipede
big one.
and arcade games that were converted to home console. Or console. That's what I thought.
So this ET game, it was so bad it caused the video game industry to crash in 1983. It was so bad that Atari buried 12 million unsold copies of the games in a desert in New Mexico, covered it with cement, and tried to forget about it.
And who created the game? That's what I want to know.
Atari did, or the Atari must have had.
So somebody had to make it. Like,
I don't know.
I want a name. I want the guy's name that crashed the video game industry in '83 before any of us even knew it existed.
Before it was even the video game industry, really. It's Howard Scott Warshaw is a man with many achievements to his names. He's a psychotherapist, published author, award-winning documentarian, former real estate broker, and developer of the supposedly worst video game ever made, E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Let's get on Facebook and Twitter and just pummel this guy with his with memories of the worst video game ever.
Yeah, they buried 12 million. Like that's not even for Atari. So the packages look like that. Even for that, it's still quite a bit. 12.
What do you think the environmental concerns were for that?
I don't think they cared back in the 80s.
That.
No, they didn't because they didn't have to in the 80s.
That'll be like some kind of fuel in like year 3050 or something.
Yeah, it's. Could you imagine like what aliens from like real aliens that come down to planet Earth, they don't know the existence of ET or anything like that. They don't understand what it is. They scour, they've taken over the human population, and now humans are next to non-existent. They come across the cement block and they decide, because they're looking for resources in the ground, so they decide to dig, and they come across 12 million copies of a game called ET. Do you think they lose their mind, like they knew about us?
I don't think that they would. I think that then they'll be called something else.
Yeah.
I don't think I think
if aliens take over planet Earth, are they aliens anymore?
No.
Well, just the residents.
Yeah. I think we're the story of that, honestly.
Maybe
to some extent, genetically speaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
we should make that a movie.
Yeah,
we should make it a comedy about aliens that come across.
Yeah, right.
They've obliterated the human population. Humans don't exist anymore. These other terrestrial beings are now looking for other planets for resources for their home planet, because they've lost it all, and now they're digging into Earth's ground, and they come across it, and 12 million copies, and then they just have to understand what happened, and then they go into a panic because they think it's like like some sort of like biblical like telling of oh, we came across some other like higher being is telling us.
That's saying there's a prophet that's gonna the one human that's gonna take us out.
E.T. Yeah. Then they spend the rest of the movie looking for this E.T. that only to come across.
Which I don't know what the game is, so I'd be interested to actually see that game in action.
It's green and black screen, so it's just there's really
you can make up whichever side you want as whoever you want. I'm sure whatever the ET is looks just like it's just a bigger or smaller green dot.
Yeah, so it's just I'll look for some images, but it's
I'm gonna look into that more.
He's brown on the Atari.
Oh wow.
Oh no, he's green. He's right there. The brown guy must be the FBI agent looking for him.
Jesus.
So that's the game, and that'd actually be a good movie. If anybody steals it, just remember,
hey, there's you've got a timestamp on this.
I got a timestamp, and when I put it out, I'm gonna be like, I'm suing your ass.
See, I was gonna say that them playing the game would be almost hypnotic to the point where they
break into
like a drug to them or something.
They find the system, or they have advanced computers enough where they'll read the cartridges, and then they spend a portion of it playing the game because they're trying to figure out the prophecy.
Yeah.
And then it's such a badly made game and impossible to beat that it just puts them in a blunder, and then they build a church about it.
Yeah.
So one person, like it could be like a monk, where it's just sitting on the couch, and
everybody watches.
13 hours into it, they still haven't beat it. So the next person comes in, and whoever beats it is like the second coming or something like that. This is some good development ideas right now.
They take like a vow of I won't eat till I finish this game, kind of like faith jump of faith or whatever. Well, I was watching this Twilight Zone episode where the aliens come and they say they're going to help the humans like end starvation and end end the wars and end and of course we'll give you efficient fuel, we'll give you we'll make it so that you can grow food anywhere and all this stuff, and of course the humans go, what's in it for you? Like they're all like, can we take this help from these people? And they're like, it's just to serve mankind. It's just, we see what you're doing wrong, and we've done this to other planets, and we just want to help you. Not because if you're gonna be a part of the the universe or whatever, we want you to be the best you can be. Mm-hmm. And they leave this binder behind when they leave, and and it's in their language, so these code breakers go to work on it. And all they figure out is the cover of it at first, which is to serve mankind.
Yeah.
And so they figure all of a sudden, and as they're figuring out the code, everything that the aliens tell the humans is happening. They give them some nitrate that turns arid soil into usable soil for crops, and they give these things that these invisible barriers, so missiles, nothing can get through them, so war is irrelevant.
Oh, that's nice.
Militaries have nothing to do and all this, and they're taking people to their planet and having people come to our planet like it's a holiday type thing.
Okay.
And everybody's happy. Well, this one code breaker continues to work on the book or whatever, and her partner decides to go to the other planet. Mm-hmm. And as he's getting on board, she runs up to and she calls out to him and goes, just as he's getting on the ship, I figured out the rest of the book, to serve mankind. It's a cookbook.
To serve mankind. I understand.
And it was. I
like that.
It's a really good episode. But
I've never watched The Twilight Zone.
Oh, it's great.
That sounds like a good episode. I'll have to check it out. That's actually pretty funny. What if it was just like, they were just actually just really nice aliens, and they're like, yeah, we just want to help you.
Yeah.
They clean everything up and they leave, and
that was what you thought was happening, and the episode looked like it was going in this because you start off with the guy in the ship that she tells that to.
Yeah.
And he's like going crazy because he's got to wait to get to this planet where he knows he's going to get eaten. and so he goes back and tells how, why he's so anxious or whatever through a flashback.
Okay.
But it's like, because he knows he's the only one that knows. And
that would be like, That'd be like, I've said it before, like if I were ever a ghost, I'd want to just be an inconvenient ghost that like turned the heater up to the thermostat too high or something like that. But like if you're an alien, you're just like because instinctively everyone's gonna think you're evil, that you have other things that you want to accomplish that cannot benefit you or your people. So I would just be like, if I were an alien, I'd be like, yeah, just let me help you clean this up real quick and I'll be on my way. And then you leave and then they just sit there wondering and they forever are in paranoia.
Which is what I think, again, I think that's our story as humans. Almost to an extent. Is like when you look into ancient cultures who worship sky gods and have images of what are planes or what are flying machines that then didn't exist, and now we're just getting into space. Now with SpaceX and whatever is going, things are starting to happen, and we're still only a drop in the bucket.
For sure.
So it's like, that's just truly my belief is that genetically speaking, we've been altered. In the distant past, and either the people that did it decided, oh shit, we fucked up and we shouldn't have done that, or they're still.
It's all part of the plan.
Yeah, who knows? And it's like that's just like that freaking video game idea. Like, and now we've got how many different religions and how many different coded messages that we're trying to figure out.
Yeah,
and
for sure. And it could all just be people just writing something. And like, hey, let's just like the Mayans, they're making this calendar, and they're just like, hey, let's just stop at this day, and people in like 2,000 years are totally gonna lose their mind. And
I always thought about it like the dude that's sitting there making the calendar, and like he's just like my arm is fucking so tired. And like somebody's like, just do a little bit more, and it's like, hey, you haven't been doing this for fucking, you haven't been carving this goddamn calendar for the last year or whatever time measurement we're using. I made it.
Yeah.
I'm done now.
My work is done. Yeah, that is pretty funny. Like, because I mean, if people that were like legitimately concerned that the world was going to end in 2012, this is actually my wedding day. December 21st, 2012. That was the theme.
Is that coincidence or is that?
I did it on purpose.
Nice. I was gonna say I don't think they could have been.
No. The theme of it was you were at my wedding, weren't you?
I've been to so many weddings now. I feel like
5 years ago.
I feel like I should have been there. If I wasn't, I apologize.
I think you were. I think you were there.
Too,
yeah. So
I have a thing with weddings because I've been on third shift for so long.
Yeah, that's true.
I end up making the reception and I can't drink.
Oh yeah,
I gotta go to work. So like, like if I don't have vacation days or whatever, which is what.
And mine was on a Friday night, so you might have, might have had to work. I don't know.
Back then I would have been working 6 shift, which would have been Friday, Saturday.
Oh,
Sunday.
so maybe you didn't make it, but
there's a chance.
There was a big snowstorm that day too, but yeah, it was our wedding was the end. We had zombies on top of our cake, and
I did not see that. No, I don't think I was there.
Okay,
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're fine. You're fine. And then we walked down to the Suicide Machine version of "It's the End of the World."
Oh,
for
nice.
The ceremony and stuff like that. Baltz did he officiated our wedding and everything like that. It was a really, really do-it-yourself kind of wedding, but it was a lot of fun.
Where was it?
It was at the Legion Hall.
Okay.
So I got really drunk, threw up in the door, and
that sounds familiar.
It was a good time. Yeah, it was. I told him I didn't want any more, but yeah, that's the reason we got it is because I was like, we got to do something really fun, and that's what we did, and it was less than 100 people were there, and it was just a huge party, and it was
honestly I've always been a little envious of your guys' friend group when it comes down to that kind of stuff, because man, you guys really made everything like I mean, even with Baltz officiating, he's done that at a couple weddings. He did that at Jory and Mara's wedding too.
Yep.
And just like you have your little, like, you guys have your main
we're
group.
Pretty lucky,
and the things that you guys have done are pretty amazing, actually. Like a lot of people don't make it that far after.
No, even in high school, you lose. I've lost really good friends that I had all through elementary school, middle school. Yep. But yeah, we've my main group of friends. We still talk and we still see each other at least a couple times a year.
And there's people going out of the country all the time too.
Yeah. So it's always good to see everybody, and yeah, I'm pretty lucky. But it's cool to have your friends like help when you can, especially like with Baltz like officiating the wedding. This makes it more personable versus some random dude that I'm paying $100 to say things that
What's your name again?
Yeah, he has no idea who we are. Or we got to wrap this up. I got another wedding to go to in a half hour, and things like that.
You got a bris.
Yeah, I'm brisk. And that's like, so I like for Matt's, Matt had like a little reception, and I DJ'd it.
Okay.
That was the last wedding that I DJ'd, and that's the last wedding I'm most likely ever going to DJ. Because I think I've only been DJing weddings for, this would be going on my 4th season.
Okay.
I've DJ'd well over 100 weddings.
Yep.
And I just, if you think about it, wedding season's really it starts in usually June.
Yeah.
June, July, August, September. And sometimes you get some October ones, but 100 weddings in 3 years is like quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
In that amount of time.
In those small months, that's pretty much 100 in a year, in terms of time.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to do it for people I knew. The majority of the weddings I did last year were for people I knew.
Yeah.
I went to high school with and talked to every once in a while. I like it better that way, but Matt's wedding was a lot of fun because I got to bust out like the ska tunes.
I was going to say, I know what you listen to, and it doesn't necessarily fit into the rotation. No. So because Mike DJ'd a few weddings and I helped with a couple of them.
Yeah.
And, coming up with the tracks.
Yeah.
Was like, because especially, but when it was, some of them were for family or whatever, and they wanted some of their own taste. But
yep.
When you get into the main tracks of a wedding, it's really pretty dull.
There's not a lot of variety. I honestly played the same songs over and over at each wedding. Like I know at some point I'm gonna be fucking playing Piano Man. I'm gonna be playing Sweet Caroline. I'm gonna playing some Michael Jackson songs, and that's what I honestly kind of liked it when I got to DJ high school dances, even though like it's uncomfortable watching these teenagers just grinding on each other. It's really uncomfortable, but I used to like work that into like the show too. So I was DJing a wedding, it was a homecoming or something like that, and I had this one person kept asking me to play My Humps by Fergie, and I was like, I don't know, because the school always goes like, use your discretion. You're an adult. You know what's appropriate, what's not appropriate.
That's amazing that they're so quick to call you an adult.
Yeah, it was nice. But and I wasn't playing it, and then I had like 10 other people ask me, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. So I played it, and it was just weird. It was just,
and they never asked you back again.
And then right. But then there's all these high schools shaking their booties and stuff like that, and it's weird. So then afterwards, like I just let the song end, and usually that's when you like fade another song, but I just let it end
and stop silence.
Awesome. And then I took the mic and I was like, well, that was uncomfortable, and then I just played the next song, and then the chaperones are all laughing their asses off, and
nice.
And one chaperone, he comes up to me, he's like, I like you don't take any shit from these kids, do you? I was like, no, I'm not going to tell them like what they're not going to tell me what to do. And because a couple times like people would like yell at me, and I'd be like on the mic, I'd be like, bro, I can't hear you. You got to come up here and talk to me if you got something to say, and they wouldn't say anything. But there was one dance I did. It was for a Catholic school.
Ooh.
And everybody, half the group, it was for seniors, half the group just left because the dean was about to shut it down because they wouldn't stop grinding.
Wow.
So like they just got up and left, and they had this big powwow outside with the dean, and there was a big controversial topic that they couldn't just fucking dry hump each other on the dance floor.
Well, when you repress them in every other area of their life, and then you put them in the same room with each other,
it just and then it just gets weird watching these kids do this.
When I was in 10th grade, you remember Woody's, right?
Yeah.
So
I think that
was at Woodward.
That's not being a thing when I was in.
You guys had the spot eventually.
It was the same.
Same thing. Well, okay, so
I forgot about that.
Yeah, when I was in 10th grade. Me and my buddy Pete,
because Woody's was for high schoolers, wasn't it?
No, Woody's was for.
It was for middle schoolers.
This is for middle school dance. It's just a nightclub for
for middle school.
Is essentially that ended at 8:00 or something like that.
It's a safe spot for middle school kids to go on a Friday night.
Yeah, it's
pretty much.
Yeah, and it was just drama. I remember it was just being drama when I was in middle school, and in 10th grade,
Brian called me a slut.
Me and Pete, my buddy Pete at the time, who was a couple of years younger than me. He just lived down the street and we skated together, whatever.
Sure.
He got a camera to make skate videos, and we decided let's go make a documentary. And so we went to Woody's, and I got in for half price based on the fact that I was making a documentary about Woody's, and I dressed in Mike's punk clothes to try and fit in, and yeah, so somewhere there's a video footage of Pete. He's manning the camera, and I'm standing like with these little 8th graders like right behind me going, so this is what's going on in our middle school, and there's like her thong is showing, and they're just grinding.
That's
and
horrible.
Like, it's actually probably a great documentary, but it never got released. Couldn't find anybody.
We're still waiting for distribution.
Yeah.
So if anyone is, it'll actually be
out there.
It's actually going to be at Sundance next year. So we're looking forward to that. But the one thing about DJing those dances, it was nice because I got to play different songs.
I never thought about the DJ at Woody's, man. That's just gotta suck.
Yeah, and it's like when you're excited about being able to play a One Direction song, like it's just,
then it's not. You've gone downhill. That's the wrong career path.
And I'm not saying pop music is horrible. I do actually like some pop music. But most of it's just fucking horrendous. But when you're excited about it, it's just, I think DJing has worn out its welcome. It's not a hard job by any means. It can turn into a hard job if all of a sudden the floor is empty and you really go into a panic. You're like, fuck, you have to have that one song in the back of your pocket that is going to work.
Well, it's like any frequency. You've got to find the songs that resonate with the crowd.
Yeah,
to get them moving.
And it's hard to do. Like I've had in some groups, just people don't like dance.
Yeah. I've been to a lot of weddings where I'm probably not on the mic right now.
Not really. That's all right.
I've been to a lot of weddings where the dance floor is empty and you can see the guy sweating and he's trying to get people to come. And I've been at weddings where nobody's been on the dance floor and seen the DJ turn it around.
Yeah.
And it's quite a show. And I'm not a dancer. I just like to watch. I just like to watch not people dance, but what's going on around me.
I had one of the weddings weird. I did last year. No, a lot of people.
I just like to watch.
A lot of people do that. I just sit in the corner and observe. But I had a wedding where it was recent. It was last year, and I hope don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be judgmental. I'm 99% sure that the bride was a lesbian.
Oh yeah. Perception is a big thing. If you pick up on that.
I grew up. My dad's gay, so I've grown up. And I've been raised by two gay men. Like I know.
And you're not gay?
No. Oh,
well, Jesus
holy
Christ.
shit! What?
Wait, that blows my mind because that's what I thought that happened.
Yeah, believe it or not, they didn't put this.
They didn't tell you had to be with men.
No, not at all. They actually, I watched The Birdcage once with them. Does that mean that it's gay propaganda? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I watched The Birdcage too. So.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good
movie. But anyway, so like I like to think I have a kind of a good read on people's sexuality sometimes. I don't fucking like put that on my resume.
Yeah, right.
Like,
it's just something you keep to yourself.
Sexual analyst or something like that. But right away when I first met her, so we always meet the bride and groom before the wedding to kind of go over the details, consultation of what they're kind of expecting, what they want, songs they want, things like that.
Yep.
And she just had no interest in it. Just no interest.
That's weird off the bat.
Yeah. And whatever. So we go through it, and I could just tell. Like, you can just get a good read on people. Sometimes you're just like, this is going to be a hard wedding to DJ.
Yeah.
I DJ'd a wedding that was they told me strictly country music, nothing else. 4-hour reception. I had to play nothing but country music.
How do you get that into country music?
It's a good question. I snuck a JT song in there, and that was the most full that the dance floor was, and she wasn't having it. But anyways,
she didn't make him square dance the whole time.
she came up to me at 11:30 and told me it's polka time, and I was like, "Fuck off, lady."
Hey, polka's got a real place in the music history.
But this other wedding, the bride was only out on the dance floor for three songs, I think.
And I imagine two of them they had to do.
The first dance, the father-daughter dance, and the grand march.
Okay, so all three she had to do.
All three she was involved in, and that's it though. That's it. She wasn't out there, she did go out for the bouquet toss too, I should say. And
is there dancing with it?
Not really, no.
Not for the bride.
But you just play like a song.
More of a mosh pit for the bride.
Yeah, more or less. And then she just sat at a table with like two other ladies, and like you could just tell she's just like, I made a mistake. I need to come out of the closet right now and then get this going.
Yeah.
And accept.
I was going to say, was she more interested in her maid of honor than the groom?
I don't really know. I would go up to her because she just looked miserable. And maybe she was having a bad day, but I was
That's
like,
not how it's supposed to work.
No, not at all. And I was like, hey, is there any songs you want to hear? And she's like, no. I was like, okay. But the weirdest thing, so that's not even.
That's just a little that's like indicator that maybe the marriage isn't going to work.
Yeah. The weirdest thing was the groom was just a goof. Like that's the only way I can describe him. He's just a goof. They wanted me after the grand march to play a song called Urgent, and I think it's by Foreigner. Urgent.
Yeah, okay.
And him and his groomsmen did an interpretive dance to it, and they acted as if they were going sturgeon spearing. So instead of urgent, because when they say urgent, it sounds like sturgeon.
Sturgeon, okay.
And
sturgeon. I meant sturgeon.
They're making fish faces and putting their hands up to their face and like moving them like their fins.
That
like this. And then like they were like pretending to stab the ice. Sturgeon spearing what the listeners know. It's very, very, very popular where we're at. Lake Winnebago is one of the only places I think in the country where that has like a big sturgeon.
People come from like Russia and shit.
Yeah, a big sturgeon migration. They're these giant ass fish. So you dig a hole in the ice and you essentially stab these fuckers as they come by, and they can be, I think the biggest so far has been 114 pounds.
It's really the first video game. It comes from the left screen to right screen, and you've got so much time to stab.
yeah, pretty much. And it's a big sport. A lot of people come throughout internationally throughout the country, come to our infested bacterial. There's probably a couple dead bodies in there. It's disgusting. Yeah, it's a really gross lake. It's a sewage system for Oshkosh, Wisconsin, believe it or not.
Well, for us too. I mean, we put it in there too.
Yeah. So it's.
But I will say, being somebody that went to school for wastewater, it's 99% cleaned.
Oh, really?
It goes back.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It's actually what's funny is
it probably has a worse reputation just because of the locals like us saying it.
I will say this: the sewage water that Fond du Lac puts back into the lake is cleaner than the water in the lake. They know that.
Okay, well that's good then.
So if you're gonna go swimming, you might want to you'd rather just go in the output area of our sewage system than in the actual lake.
Yeah, reconsider your choice if you're gonna go in Lake Winnebago. Other than fishing, yeah.
Yeah, you get in there, it's lukewarm. It's like a bath.
Ugh. But so that's what sturgeon spearing is. So these people did an interpretive dance on this season of sturgeon spearing, and then it ended with one of the groomsmen like flopping on the floor like a fish and being carried away off the dance floor. And it was the weirdest shit.
Did it go over well with the people?
No.
It sounds like one of those ideas that they didn't tell enough people, or nobody stepped in and said, "Don't do that, man. Don't do that."
No one knew what the fuck.
If they would have made a song like that, actually changed the word to sturgeon, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
it would have played, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, because they told me to play it, I was like, all right. And then I watched it all unfold, and it felt like a real long time. I was like, this song could end at any time now and things would be okay.
I would say that given the mood of the bride,
yeah, I don't know,
and the way that maybe went down is maybe she's unhappy and he's just not perceptive.
Maybe, and with or
she knew that was coming.
The weird thing,
she just she was so upset about it,
fucking dreading it the whole time. She says, "I do." She like says it with some hesitance, and
I do, but you shouldn't.
But yeah, another thing when they were doing the Grand March, and I honestly don't remember their names, which is kind of nice. They were the Grand March, so they do the Tunnel of Love thing.
Yeah.
And so every time you go under the couple, they put their arms down, you kiss. And he would go in for the kiss, and her lips would just go,
oh, wow,
suck them in. And I was like, this is...
Yeah.
Something's not right.
Yeah, that guy doesn't sound like he understands what's going on. Like, I bet you a bunch of people told him not to do the sturgeon thing, but he just didn't hear it.
He was just a real...
Well, I ran into somebody I used to know at a bar a while back. This is a few years ago. Actually, it's like 7 years ago or something. Okay. But it always, like, it was weird to me. Because she was going to be getting married, and she was just like... Her friends they're all going to a different bar, and she's like, I'll be right there. We were just talking or whatever, and she was like, I hate my fiance. Like, I don't even want to touch him. I don't want.
Oh wow.
And I was like, you can't marry this guy then. Like, and she's like, it's all paid for, and I can't get out of it. And I was like, it doesn't matter if it's paid for. Like, if this is how you feel, like she's like, I cheat on him and I was like, yeah, wow. That's not something you can go through with, and she didn't, and now she's very happy, and it's
that's good. Yeah.
So I would say to anybody out there that's going to get married, and if you really don't, if that's how you feel and that's how your wedding day
if you have second thoughts, and like
if your husband's going to do a sturgeon interpretive dance to the song Urgent, get out now.
Get the fuck out. It's honey, so me and the guys were talking, the song Urgent.
Wouldn't it be really funny?
Shut it down. Yeah, wouldn't it be really... No, it wouldn't be really funny, sir.
I have to go, and I'm not going to... You can have all my stuff. I'm out.
Yeah. I think we need to reconsider our life choices, and... Yeah.
Maybe in a while. No, I don't think that's ever going to go away.
I remember... I mean... I had a few girlfriends growing up in high school, not really... I don't necessarily think I was a ladies' man by any means, but I had a couple girlfriends, went on a couple dates and stuff, and there was the time where I spent time with a girl and dated her, and then after a while I just knew, you just know sometimes you're just like, I got to get out, and yeah, so
it's never easy. I mean,
well, when you're in high school,
when
it doesn't
you're in high
matter.
school, it's not hard. That seems, and I can't really say that because I didn't date in high school. So
yeah, I've only ever
I dated in grade school and then got into relationships as soon as I got out of high school. Like graduation day, I was in a relationship, but never in high school.
Yeah. I only broke up with 2 people ever. The other couple girls I dated, well, one was like mutual in a sense. So like we're just like, yeah. We're not. We kind of are looking for different things, so that was okay. And the one I broke up with, the first girl, it was like my first real girlfriend that I had. I broke up with her, and boy, did that not go well.
Yeah.
And I felt, you feel really bad, but it's just something that has to happen. So funny story, Ryan, your brother Ryan, he had dated a girl for quite some time. And it just wasn't working out anymore for him, at least. And he's like, I need to break up with her, but I just can't. Like, because just because you break up with a person doesn't mean you don't care about them anymore. You still want to, you still have feelings for these people. It's just not the way that you felt before. And it's not easy. You don't want to no one ever wants to make anybody feel bad. Yeah. But he just is like, I need this moral support.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, man. So what we're going to do, give me, I'm talking to him on a landline back in the day when landlines existed.
Yeah.
And I was like, do a 3-way call. I'll mute my phone, but know that I'm here for moral support.
This can really be construed as cruel in a different light.
Absolutely. Yes. We were in high school. We were stupid. I was just there for moral support.
This is still in high school.
Yes.
So okay. Now I know who you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the other one. No. Okay.
The one, his most recent one?
Yeah.
No.
No, he's actually in a relationship now.
Oh, I don't think you were supposed to say that.
Can we edit that out?
Yeah, I can edit that out.
Just don't edit it out.
Okay, he's not going to listen anyways. I did hear he was in a relationship, and I'm very happy.
I actually talked to her on the phone for
Did you really?
5 minutes, yeah.
I'm happy for him because that's a good thing. That's a very good thing for him. his last girlfriend can go to hell. Anyways,
I don't think that she liked the person he was. And I don't think she liked the person, or that he liked the person she was. In the long run, and that's when you can see that happening.
Yeah.
When you see somebody lying to their to their significant other about things that they like to do. Mm-hmm. Generally, like in a general sense, then it's like, okay, well, then how much are you going to change for this person?
But anyway, so we're on the three-way call. I have my phone muted. And he goes, hey, this really isn't working out for me anymore. I'm really, really sorry, but we just
a phone call breakup too.
It was a phone call breakup, so that not only is it that's like
that
pretty
can be
pretty low.
As cruel.
That's very
my
low.
Best friend on mute. From her point of view, this is a lot different.
But so it gets worse. So we're not doing it the correct way by any means. We're not doing it the correct way. It's a learning experience.
Yeah, learning experience.
And she starts to cry. It was expected, but then he didn't end the conversation there. She's crying. He's going, hey, I'm really sorry. Your brother is a really nice guy.
But he is overly...
He's overly nice. He's just like...
He hates to make people feel bad.
Yeah,
he hates to do the wrong thing.
And he's just like, I'm really, really sorry. I'm so sorry. And like, I mean, what more can you say at that point? You have to end the conversation.
Were you like going, I just want to unmute and go, Ryan, get out now.
Well, somebody picks up one of the other phones in my house and goes, Drew, I need the phone. And I was like, oh no! Like,
so when you mute one phone on those landlines,
there's 3 phones throughout the house, and Drew, I really need the phone, and I was like, oh fuck, and I just hung up. I hung up and let it go. I don't know what happened after that.
Did you ever talk to Ryan about that?
Probably. But
yeah, that's great. That's one of those stories that just you can't make that up.
Yeah, and it was just like I was like, I can't believe I was actually talking about poor timing.
It's just I don't know if you know the Larry Sanders Show. It's Gary Shandling.
Oh no.
It's awesome. If you like Seinfeld, like Seinfeld came.
I
from
actually
the Gary
haven't
Shandling
really
show,
gotten. I got into Seinfeld very late. I see that you have the whole series.
Yes, I've watched it many times.
I might have to borrow that from you.
I took some of the discs out, so if you do, just remind me.
Okay.
I'll remember because I always do, because I'm so into... my favorite discs are in different cases, because that case is crap.
Oh, is it?
It's one of those cases that comes apart, and then the glue gets on the disc, and it's like, come on, guys. This is,
I watched Seinfeld. I really got into Seinfeld late. And I have learned to appreciate. I thought it was really stupid, but I've learned to appreciate it.
I think you almost need to be like, it doesn't make sense.
You need to be
an
adult. Yeah. I watched the garbage episode with when Jason Alexander,
when he gets smart or whatever.
No, when he picks up like there's like a half
eclair, yeah,
it's a half-eaten donut on a napkin.
It's not a donut. It was an eclair, and it wasn't half-eaten. It had one bite taken.
Okay,
and it was on a magazine on the top of the tray. It wasn't below the rim.
Yeah, so you are a Seinfeld fan
but was it adjacent to garbage? Then it was garbage. But so the Gary Shandling, he did a show called "It's the Gary Shandling Show" or something like that.
Okay.
Back in the late '80s, which was he was really interested in breaking the fourth wall.
Sure.
So he would talk to the camera in that show. Well, then he did the Larry Sanders Show, which broke the fourth wall in the sense that it moved the wall back. He was a talk show host.
Okay.
And it was about the talk show. It wasn't about that. It was about all the behind the scenes work.
Sure.
And there's Jeffrey Tambor, who is an amazing actor. He was on Arrested Development, and he's an archer. He's in 100 other things. And he plays the sidekick.
Doesn't he got like some scandal attached to him now?
I don't know.
I think he does.
He might. He probably. Who doesn't now?
Yeah, I know.
But so in the show, he's kind of a goof, like a goon. Like,
sure.
He just does everything. He endorses anything for money, whatever. But he's like unhappy, and he goes in to talk to Larry Sanders, which is Gary Shandling.
Yeah.
And the producer of the show, who is Rip Torn, which if you know Rip Torn
sounds familiar.
He's hilarious, and he plays he can be a badass or whatever.
Okay.
But, he's like, I'm gonna put myself on mute and go in the other room because they like to make fun of Hank behind his back or whatever. And in the middle of the conversation, he sneezes and it comes over the speakerphone, and
It's exactly pretty much what happened.
And it's like they're just sitting there like,
what do you do?
Yeah. Gary Shandling tries to say, "What did you fart? You rip one?" And like it's a great show.
That sounds awesome.
But yeah, I mean that's a guaranteed just a situation that if you can't laugh at later, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and I don't know if the person like caught on because she might have been too busy crying.
Right. She might not even know.
Let's hope so. Maybe she'll never know. Maybe one day she'll stumble upon this and be like, I'm pretty sure they're talking about me.
Yeah, right.
He was on the phone. I was.
You're gonna get a call, yeah.
I don't think she has my phone number.
Facebook message.
I haven't talked to her in a long. I actually DJ'd a wedding and she was at. That was the last time I saw her and talked to her. So
hey, you remember when you?
Remember when you got dumped?
I heard that whole thing. But no, that's
not the right thing. That's not the right thing to do.
That's my first girlfriend. Like, I didn't even mean to break up with her. I accidentally broke up with her, and that ended the relationship. Like,
really?
Yeah, it was a really horrible experience, and there was drinking involved on one end, and things went poorly after that, and just that wasn't how I expected it to go, and that's just the way it went. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was very bad at relationships. I still am, probably.
Yeah, I'm just lucky enough to find a person who's willing to put up with me, and then my
neurosis.
Yeah, she thinks I do a lot of things and say.
You don't really have that though. I don't think.
I do a lot of things that I think are funny and say a lot of things that I think are funny, but she does not appreciate. But I laugh, so I mean it's worth it in my opinion.
I think that's what there's a joke about like the epitome of marriage being after the after party, after the office party. And everybody's leaving and the wife and the husband are picking up and the wife just goes, I'm sure it was a really funny joke and nobody cared.
I actually played a pretty one would say cruel prank maybe, but I thought it was fucking hilarious. And then I exposed the prank on the radio.
Okay.
So on my former morning show that I had.
Yep.
So for months, like we'd be sitting on the couch, and I would just say something, just blurt something, really random, like I Frenched a horse or something like that. I would just say like random things, and like it was like just such like just odd things, and then she'd be like, "What did you say?" And I'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like what? And she's like, "Did you just say you Frenched a horse?" And I'm like, and I would be like, and I was like, "Frenched a horse?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "A horse?"
I've never even said hello to a horse, let alone
yeah. And then I'm just like, I was like, no, like
you okay.
And then she, and then as I did this for months, and then as time went on, I was just like, I would like just look at her, and I'd be like, I'm like, Sierra, I'm legitimately concerned about you. You're hearing these things.
Oh, that okay? Wow.
I was like, I'm worried about you because you keep.
This is another cruel thing that can be misconstrued, or another thing that is funny but can be misconstrued as cruel.
I was like, you keep asking me about these things, and I was like, why would I say this? Why would I say this? And then the best part of it is I would just start laughing, but she thought I was laughing because I think she's saying these things.
Yeah.
And when I'm just really laughing because I'm like, I did say that.
Yeah.
And it just kept going on, and I'm just like, I think we need to find a doctor, and I think we need to figure this out. And then finally, when I I just talked about it on air, and then I told her, I was like, hey, I talked about your thing on air about you hearing. She's like, why would you do I was like, oh, I also said it was that I had been saying those things this whole time. You motherfucker. Like,
so that's when you separated from your first.
right. No, we're still happily married.
Yeah, no,
so. It was a good joke. It was a good joke.
That's a long one. You're in for the long con.
You got to commit sometimes.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting to me about that is that me and my current girlfriend actually have that issue.
Oh, really?
Or we did, because she just went. She was really sick for a while.
Yeah.
And she was literally like, she would hear me saying, and I wasn't saying them.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't doing them.
That was part of because she had gotten a transplant.
This is before the transplant. Okay. So like she was just getting that sick.
Really, really sick.
And they said like when we went in, like your mental capacity is gonna.
Is it because of the organ wasn't functioning correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so like, and it was really messing us up because she was thinking that I was picking these fights or something, and going. Why would I say that? I'd never say that. There's nothing for me to say. So like, you know, sitting here listening to that story, I'm going, what?
It's a little darker when you put it in that sense.
Well, honestly, before I knew that it was because of what was going on, I was going.
You're concerned.
Is she seriously like? I honestly thought she was pranking me, but in a sense that it wasn't going to be a prank. It was like conditioning or something, like just to pick the fight or something. And it really so coming from the other person's point of view, that's hard to deal with, man. But for you, if you're just saying like random stuff, that's one thing. She's saying I'm saying these things that are just not cool to say.
And I would say like things like oh, my butt itches or something like, you know, I would say like stuff like that. But
yeah, it's different in that sense. But yeah, just being in that situation where it's like you have to explain that you didn't say something or whatever, like or you know, just like, or having to be worried, like, because we had
concerned,
we had the conversation.
Concerns.
We had the conversation where I was like, we need to go talk to somebody because you're hearing things that aren't being said, and she suggested let's just record everything. Like we were at that point.
Let's make a podcast about it.
We were at that point for a little while where it was like, I don't want to be in a relationship where I have to record everything and then listen back to it in case. Yeah. You know, I want you.
It's like a court trial.
Yeah, and I want you to trust that I wouldn't say those things, and she's going, I want you to trust that I'm hearing them.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's crazy.
We both thought we were going crazy for a while.
Yeah. Well, before we end it, I got a couple questions. First of all. MeUndies did not respond to our lovely plug, so MeUndies, I'm gonna tag you, and everybody, be like, hey,
everybody should be getting into MeUndies.
What if we did a thing where I just said, hey, everyone, just start using this promo code, and you'll get like, what is it, 10% off usually? Is it 20%?
15, I think.
15, and I was like, what if I did that, and then you prove to me that you used the promo code, and I'll just reimburse you the money. The 15%,
which is $4 a pair. That's what it comes down to.
So I'll pay you the difference, and then I'll be like, hey, MeUndies, see how these people are using /dudes with brews. You need to get on this MeUndies. 3 times softer than cotton, micromodal. It's made out of, and they make his and hers pairs now.
And socks.
And they have hats as well. So MeUndies.
I got the hat for free.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's just because MeUndies likes their customers.
Oh, well, they don't like me enough. I got to make this happen. I got to reach out to MeUndies. Let's do this.
If I got a hat, you should get like a full jumpsuit in modal.
That'd be killer. If you're gonna, give me a jumpsuit, and I'll talk about MeUndies all day if they gave me some free undies.
They just somebody just brought it up to me at Starbucks the other day, my hat, and
really?
I got into the whole spiel with them.
Yeah,
I can't not do it because it's just everybody should be this comfortable.
Everyone should be this comfortable, and I wish their tagline was not your undies, MeUndies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good tagline, MeUndies. So use that. But our last
you shouldn't be giving them that for free until they at least give you
trademark, bitch.
Yeah.
And then, so has anything else happened since our conversation about?
Actually, no. It's all been pretty
calm.
Yeah. And Trevor even stayed here one night by himself, and he was so tired he just crashed. But no, I haven't had anything happen. So we might be through the window until next the winter.
Time.
Yep.
All right. Cool, man.
But if anything real big happens, I'll let you know.
Let me know. We'll get some EVP
update
going on. But yeah, man, thanks for doing this again. Second week in a row. You couldn't get enough.
Yeah. No.
So
hopefully the viewers can't either, or the listeners. So,
yeah. So, the last one did really good. Really well.
Yeah,
really
awesome.
well. So we enjoyed a Potosi shot tower, and this is it sounds like they distribute coast to coast, so maybe you can find it at your local place, Potosi in Potosi, Wisconsin. All profits go to charity, which is really awesome and really rare nowadays for something like that, especially a brewery. So it's really cool. The espresso.
Didn't you say it's the only brewery that does
the only brewery in Wisconsin that I know.
Okay, all right.
That's that all the profits go to charity. It might be the only brewery to do it in general, because I don't think
most people don't get into brewing on a major basis to not
for
make
nonprofit.
money.
So it's pretty cool. I think it's a really cool thing that they do, and I'm happy that it's happening in the great state of Wisconsin. The Shot Tower Espresso Stout. So if you're like us, getting off a third shift, you don't want coffee. You want coffee, but you also want some alcohol.
Or if you're just one of those people that it's a Friday night and you're feeling a little tired, but your friends want to go out.
Yeah,
you can do both. You can have it all.
You can have it all. I say we drink it.
And I drank mine for sure.
I drank mine as well. So
definitely
cool,
drinkable.
Thanks, man. Pew, pew! Audio.